Hello. I have a nonfiction book to speak about today. It's by Lisa Pease, and it's called A Lie Too Big to Fail. Now, this is about some rather serious material here. This is about the assassination of Robert Kennedy, which was in, I think, June of 1968, while he was campaigning to become president of the United States. Because back then, Lyndon Johnson was the president, who had replaced John Kennedy, Robert's brother, as president when he was assassinated in 1963. So this is just 5 years later, not quite 5 years later, that we have Robert Kennedy also being assassinated. And this was on the heels of Malcolm X being assassinated after Kennedy. That was in 1965. And then in 1968, just a few months before Kennedy was shot and killed, Martin Luther King was shot and killed as well. And then Robert Kennedy. So it's a 500-page book that looks into the case in a certain amount of detail. And what she comes up with, or what she states, is that that it was in fact a conspiracy, and that the whole case and the trial of Sirhan was so screwed up from who they hired to be the attorneys and everything else, and the police activity, and so many other things that are looked into in the book, and she comes up with the matter of there being more than one gunner, and that in fact Sirhan probably didn't even shoot anything. He'd shot blanks because people saw sort of flames coming out of his muzzle of his pistol, the .22 pistol that he was using, and that the flames indicate that the bullets were blanks, and that he was just there as a distraction so that the people right beside Robert Kennedy could kill him. Like the bullets that killed him, bullets, one or two, that killed him were shot from like an inch away from his head. So basically someone took a gun and went bam, bam, like that, while Sirhan was doing his thing, distracting everyone. She also goes into the stipulation that Sirhan was a mind-controlled hypnotic patsy, basically, that he has no memory of what went on that night, that he was trained out of that memory, that he's very hypnotizable. The defense hired hypnotists to hypnotize him to find out if he could remember anything about the night of the assassination. And he's in jail for life, so there's no reason that he couldn't talk at this point as to exactly what went on, but he can't talk because he doesn't remember, because his memory he was programmed to forget that. And it seems incredible that these things can go on, that she goes into a certain amount of detail about, we often hear that someone cannot be trained to kill, to do something against their base morality, when they're under hypnosis. She disputes that, in that there's lots of techniques that could be worked around, like, you can, if you want them to kill their mother, you can tell them under hypnosis that is not their mother, it's somebody playing as their mother, and that their mother is in danger, and you have to do something to protect your mother. And so, they would go through with it in that case, because it is aligned with their moral compass as to what is proper to do in this situation. So she, lays out all this information that, to me, is convincing that it was a conspiracy, and that then that it was a conspiracy by the same team that did the same thing to Robert Kennedy's brother, the same forces that want to keep the military-industrial complex in war mode, the same people that came out of World War II in war mode and stayed in war mode and just looked for the new enemy and made the Soviet Union and communism the new enemy. I'm talking about the OSS to become the CIA. So once again, it's the CIA and intelligence that is responsible for these things. It's incredible that a country can build an agency and set them out, protecting. Their mission was to, in 1948, was to become an intelligence organization and also have these special operations. And that's where the problem is with these special operations, where they've been organizing coups, assassinating foreign leaders, messing with the rest of the world in a serious fashion for 70 years now. And the U.S. is going to have a serious blowback one of these days. We've been protected by the seas and so forth. But as Ralph Nader said in a recent broadcast, talking about what's going on in the Middle East now, that we're making a lot of enemies by supporting the wrong people, and that before too long we're going to see some blowback here in this country in a more serious and sustained fashion, because there are more autonomous drones and devices like that can slip in and do things, and we're likely to see a lot of that kind of thing going on in the next few years, or you are. I'm probably not going to be around to see these things. So, but yeah, this is another book that is hard for me to read, because I've been on the anti-side of these people since the Vietnam War, being anti-Vietnam War, because I was a male child that was draftable and working class and all that stuff. So fortunately, I didn't get drafted, so that didn't happen. But all this time, I've watched my country go into one war after another, one deposing someone after another, spending all this money on the military growing and growing and growing, we becoming basically the plague of the world, of the worst country in the world, that's causing all these problems and trying to control everyone, and putting a third of the country of the world in sanctions, starving people, murdering people. It's atrocious. She does not get around to one thing that I question myself. We have Sirhan, the patsy in this situation is a Palestinian. And it crossed my mind, given that a year earlier in 1967, I think also in June, a foreign nation attacked one of our ships, the Liberty, in the Mediterranean while they were engaging in another of their wars. And this is a nation that we support and continue to support. And I just wonder if that nation itself and the intelligence agents of that nation that is very close to intelligence agents of our nation. I mean, James Angleton has a plaque to himself in one of these nations that I'm speaking of, and I wonder if they had this setup of this Palestinian killing Robert F. Kennedy, and the reason that they concocted as his defense was that he was upset for the bombers that the Americans were going to send the nation that was killing the Palestinians, and that he remembered in the 1948 war. It talks about how Sirhan experienced certain things in 1948, saw people bombed, saw people killed when all this started, or when that part of it was going on. So I bring that up myself. Is it possible that they were killing him to bring more support to their country? That, oh, see, there's another Palestinian that killed us. Now or killed your great leader, Robert Kennedy. So support our nation and support our what I'm trying to say. So I wonder if that is the situation. This came out, 2017 or something? So she does mention things that are coming up right now. As a matter of fact, she mentions Kamala Harris, who was Attorney General in California before she was selected to be vice president for Biden, and now is running for president. And she talks about how Kamala Harris would not look at this information, would not look into releasing Sirhan from prison, as we know that he did not do anything. He is innocent. But she would not look at that information. And as a matter of fact, she followed someone else, another book. Kamala Harris was following another book that claimed that Sirhan was the first Palestinian terrorist. So that's the line that apparently is coming out of the Harris camp about that. So yeah, this is another one of these things. I mean, she mentions at the end that everybody should talk about this. We should talk about this, and so here I am talking about it. I mean, we don't see this on the national news. The CIA-controlled CBS and Washington Post, whatever, these the big corporate news. Instead, you have to hear it from a guy like me and a book like this. Instead of, look, guess what? Sirhan did not really kill the president, kill Robert Kennedy. All these other people did, and she goes all through the plots of how he could have, how you can signal people to click them into a trance that they've been set up for before. And there was a lot of this girl with the polka dot dress thing, which the polka dot dress is the thing. I mean, this is kind of like Manchurian Candidates kind of stuff. So it's all like stuff that we've dealt with in our fiction. That's hardly believable, but yet it's real apparently. So this is this this and this was 50 years ago when this was done. So what do they have now, and what do they do now, and what advances have there been since then? Anyway, I think we're in serious trouble in our little country here, and I don't know what we're going to do about it, or if it's possible to get out of it, or it's just a decline and into some sort of a fascist situation here that we just or you are not going to be able to get out of. I'm not going to be around, so it's not really a problem for me, I guess, because I'm not going to be around that long. But with when I was reading this, I was thinking, I know this stuff. I know a lot of this stuff. I mean, there was a lot of details in this book that I did not know. I mean, I didn't know the details of the particular situation of Robert Kennedy's assassination. So all that was really illuminated by the book. As a matter of fact, I kind of made little Zapruder films in my own head of things I'm seeing. The situation as she kept repeating what went on of being in this passageway, this sort of a pantry situation, and Kennedy entering, and all these people around, and Sirhan starting to do his thing, and other people moving around. Oh, by the way, Sirhan was in front, and Kennedy was shot from behind, just like JFK was shot from behind, and Oswald was shot from the front, and Oswald was up and behind, so couldn't be the shooter of the real death shot that killed him. So, but I wonder about us day to day as citizens of this country, with all this hanging over us. We have this nice country here. We produce all these movies. We have, we're kind of peaceful here, as far as we're not at war on our own soil. We're export war all over the place, and it killed millions of people in the past 25 years, but not here. But I wonder if any of this is leaking into the psyche of people, ordinary people. And I mean, not people like me who are interested enough to find out about this stuff. I know that it has impacted me, impacted my psyche, impacted my feelings about myself. Like, what kind of a person am I to live in a country and allow this to go on? Why am I not with thousands of others besieging Washington, D.C. right now, or someplace, and saying, no more, stop this military budget, stop these weapons, stop doing this? But we don't do that. We just get bought off by our series, or our drugs we have, or whatever we have, and just go on about our lives. And last time there was an anti-war move is because there was a draft, and that's how I got organized into things. If there was not a draft, I don't know where I would be. But anyway, I got shifted into this lane of inquiry and thought, and it's where I've lived my whole life, and I had to live with this stuff going on. That my tax dollars, when I pay my taxes, I know that half of it is going to this war machine, and all this stuff is going to this hellscape that we're building in the rest of the world, and this is part of it. That they can just kill politicians that we might like, that we might want, who might want to change things and put things in a different direction, stop these nuclear weapons, stop all these incursions in all these other countries, but we don't do it. She puts everything together. I mean, she's completely, a kindred spirit in that she asks these kind of questions herself right at the end, like, so, there's a lot of us who are out here wondering about these things, but feeling kind of helpless as to what we can do, and the government won't pay any attention to people who want peace. They're in bed with the war machine, with the military contractors. So anyway, A Lie Too Big to Fail, a very interesting book about the assassination of Robert Kennedy. And check it out. I'll talk to you next time.